You're sitting in traffic, you're late. The honking won't stop. Your boss is already angry. You're sweating, you're anxious, you're annoyed. But then someone walks past your car, calm, peaceful, smiling. Same chaos, but while you're on fire inside, they're a still lake. Why? Why do some people remain unaffected, while others get shaken by the smallest waves of life? What if I told you there's a way to become that person, to develop an inner stillness so powerful that nothing outside can disturb it? Welcome to Wisdom of Sparks, where we go deep into Buddhist philosophy, ancient teachings, and practical spirituality. And today, I promise you something powerful. If you truly absorb what you're about to hear, you will no longer react the same way to stress, pain, insult, fear, or failure. Because these aren't just ideas. They're Buddhist principles that monks use to walk barefoot through storms, to face death with a smile, and to see failure as a friend. But wait, before we go deeper, let me ask you, have you ever overreacted to something small and regretted it later? Have you been haunted by words someone said, replaying them again and again in your mind? Have you ever felt like the world was pulling you in every direction and you had no control? If you said yes, you're not weak, you're human. But Buddhism says being human is only the beginning. Your power lies in what you do with this human life. That's where these 10 principles come in. They're like ancient armor for the modern world. Why should you learn these principles? Let me give it to you straight. The world will never stop testing you. People will lie. Plans will fail. Health will decline. Dreams will break. But if you build a mind that does not react, you become untouchable. Not cold, not heartless, but centered like a mountain in a storm. These 10 Buddhist principles aren't magic spells. They're timeless truths, carved into the lives of enlightened beings, warrior monks and those who discovered unshakable peace, not outside, but within. So today, you won't just learn Buddhism. You'll experience the kind of clarity that makes you feel like you just woke up from a dream. Let's start with a simple truth. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Read that again. Imagine your friend ignores your message. That's pain. But checking your phone 50 times, imagining the worst, that's suffering. Buddhism teaches, what happens outside of you doesn't define your peace. It's how you respond that decides everything. Let that sink in. You cannot control how people behave. You cannot control whether life is easy or hard. But you can master the mind that experiences it all. That's real power. Who was Buddha and why should we listen? Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, wasn't born a sage. He was a prince. He had luxury, power, and pleasure. But one day, he saw something he'd never seen before. An old man, a sick man, a dead man. That moment shattered him. It made him realize, even with all the wealth and comfort in the world, no one escapes pain. So he left his palace. He walked away from everything. He searched for years, meditated under trees, starved, studied, suffered, until finally he awakened. What he discovered was this: you don't need to escape the world. You just need to stop being a slave to it. And that's what these 10 principles are. They're the keys he discovered and passed on for centuries. Real talk, what makes us suffer? You might think it's that breakup, that betrayal, that job loss, that rejection, but it's not. It's our resistance to what happens. It's our clinging to what we want things to be. Buddha said, desire is the root of suffering. But desire doesn't just mean craving luxury or fame. It means wanting things to go your way all the time. And when they don't, we break. Unless we learn how to bend. These principles will teach you exactly how. This is not just theory, it's transformation. Let me be brutally honest. The world is getting louder, faster, and more chaotic. If you don't build a still mind now, it'll only get harder. Think of your mind like a candle. In a calm room, the flame is steady. But in the wind, it flickers, it goes out. These Buddhist principles are like a glass around your candle. They don't remove the wind, but they protect your peace so the light stays on no matter what. What will you gain from this video? You'll learn how to stop overthinking everything. You'll discover why some emotions control you and how to take your power back. You'll finally understand what it means to let go without giving up. And most importantly, you'll learn how to live from a place of calm strength. instead of constant reaction. Still not sure? Let me tell you a Zen story. A Zen master once said, "If someone gives you a gift and you don't accept it, who does the gift belong to?" The student replied, "To the one who offered it." "Exactly," said the master. "So if someone offers you anger, insult, or hate, and you don't accept it, it stays with them. You remain untouched. That's the kind of wisdom you're about to receive. And by the end of this video, I want you to walk away not just smarter, but freer." Final promise before we begin. This isn't just about Buddhism. It's about you, your peace, your power, your ability to live in a world full of noise and still hear the voice within. These aren't just tips. They're weapons of the mind. And as we go through each principle, you'll feel something shift in you. That anxiety, that emotional chaos, that inner war, it'll begin to melt, but only if you stay with me till the end. So take a deep breath, clear your mind, and let's begin your journey to becoming untouchable. Principle 1, Impermanence. Anicca, nothing lasts forever. Let's begin with one of the most fundamental teachings in Buddhism, Anicca, or impermanence. You see, the root of most suffering is not the situation itself, but our expectation that things will stay the same forever. We want good days to last forever. We want the people we love to stay with us forever. We want success to be permanent. We want life to go as we imagined it in our minds. But everything in life is changing, constantly, without warning. The people you love will change. Your body will change. The world around you will evolve. And if you cling to how things used to be or how you wish they were, you'll live in a constant state of anxiety. Buddha said, "All conditioned things are impermanent." When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. Impermanence teaches us to love deeper, because we realize the moment is fleeting. It teaches us to be less angry, because even pain will pass. When you truly understand impermanence, you start becoming untouchable by external chaos. You stop asking for things to last forever. You just ask for the strength to be present while they last. Principle 2, Detachment. Vairagya, letting go without losing love. Most people think detachment means not loving anyone or caring about anything. That's not true. In Buddhism, detachment means you experience fully but you do not cling. Imagine holding sand in your palm. If you try to clutch it tightly, it slips away, but if you keep your palm open, it stays. That's how love should be. That's how success should be. That's how life should be. We suffer because we hold on too tight to people who want to leave, to jobs that have drained us, to memories that belong to the past. Detachment isn't giving up. It's giving space. It's the quiet confidence that you'll be okay, even if things change, because they always do. Principle 3, Mindfulness. Sati, observing, not reacting. Imagine you're sitting by a river. Leaves are floating on the water. You watch them pass. Now imagine each leaf is a thought. Some are peaceful, some are angry, some are scary. Mindfulness is the practice of sitting by that river without jumping in, without grabbing onto every thought, just watching. Most people live inside their thoughts, but Buddhism teaches you to watch them like clouds. A monk once said, "You are not your thoughts, you are the one who watches them." The more mindful you become, the less reactive you are. When someone insults you, you pause. When fear arises, you breathe. You don't drown in every emotion. You observe, you understand, and slowly you master yourself. Principle 4, Noble Silence. Ariatiyu letter 26 dhi macron bha macron via. Speaking less, hearing more. In Buddhist monasteries, silence is sacred, because in silence, you hear things that noise drowns out. Your own heartbeat, your own breath, your own truth. Most of our problems come from saying too much, arguing when we should be listening, defending when we should be understanding. The Buddha once remained silent when a man insulted him. When asked why, he said, "If someone offers you a gift and you don't accept it, to whom does it belong?" Silence is not weakness. Silence is awareness. It gives space for wisdom to enter. And when practiced regularly, it becomes a shield, a sword, a superpower. Principle 5, Equanimity. Upekkha, the calm in chaos. Equanimity means emotional balance, not swinging too far into joy or despair. Imagine being like the ocean. Waves may crash above, but the depth remains still. Life will give you both, compliments and criticism, wins and losses, praise and blame. The one who lives in equanimity does not ride every wave. They watch it rise and fall. Equanimity is not about being emotionless. It's about not being owned by your emotions. You feel, but you don't get lost. You cry, but you don't collapse. You love, but you don't cling. This principle makes you powerful, centered, unshakable. Principle 6, right thought samasankappa, thinking that heals. Every action begins with a thought. In Buddhism, right thought means letting go of thoughts of harm, replacing anger with compassion, replacing jealousy with appreciation, replacing fear with understanding. Thoughts are seeds. What you plant, you grow. So ask yourself daily, are my thoughts healing me or hurting me? If you want peace, think peacefully. If you want freedom, think freely. What you feed your mind will show up in your reactions, your energy, and your future. Principle 7, the middle path Majjhima Padapada, balance over extremes. The Buddha tried 2 extremes, a life of luxury in the palace, a life of extreme starvation as a monk. Neither gave him peace. True wisdom came when he found the middle way. This principle is about avoiding extremes in all areas. Not overworking, not being lazy, not indulging in pleasure, not rejecting joy, not suppressing emotions, not drowning in them. Balance is the key. The middle path is where the mind is calm, the heart is open, and the body is aligned. This is the path to awakening. Principle 8, non-self anatta, who are you really? We say, this is my body, this is my mind, this is my life. But who is this me? Buddhism says there is no permanent self, only a collection of changing thoughts, memories, and perceptions. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to free you. When you realize the self is an illusion, you stop taking insults personally. You stop being addicted to ego. You start living in deep compassion, because there is no I against you. There's only life flowing through all forms. Principle 9, seeing reality clearly, Vipassana. We don't see the world as it is. We see it as we are, through fear, through desire, through memory. Vipassana means to see things clearly as they are. It is a meditation method, but also a mindset. See your anger without judging it. See your fear without hiding from it. See people without labeling them. Clarity is power, and when you see reality clearly, you stop reacting blindly. Principle 10, compassion and loving kindness, metta and karuna. What happens when someone hurts you? You want to strike back, but Buddhism says compassion is strength, because the person who hurt you is hurting inside. Metta means unconditional loving kindness. Karuna means compassion in action. These aren't just soft emotions. They're the strongest forces in the world. They melt hatred, calm fear, build bridges between enemies. A truly unaffected person is not someone who avoids people. It is someone who can love without expecting and without attachment. That is freedom. That is power. That is peace. Let's forget the usual summaries. Let's leave the box behind. I want to take you somewhere else now. A space without bullet points, without principles, without even Buddhism. Let's talk about you, the one who watched, who listened, who felt something stirred. Let me ask you something wild. If you weren't taught what to fear, would fear exist? If no one ever told you what failure meant, would failure still hurt? If the world didn't name you, shape you, mold you, who would you be truly? Buddhism doesn't give you answers. It removes the questions. Because the truth isn't something you find in a temple. It's something you remember in silence. Now picture this. A mirror never holds onto reflections. A mirror doesn't get angry when someone screams in front of it. A mirror doesn't rejoice when beauty appears, or cry when ugliness does. It reflects, lets go. Be the mirror. Let life appear. Let it pass. Let it teach. But never let it own you. Because the one who watches the storm is never wet. The one who watches the fire is never burned. And the one who watches the mind is already free. So go now, not with knowledge, but with knowing. Not with answers, but with stillness. Not with resistance, but with an open hand. You don't have to change the world. You don't even have to change yourself. You just have to stop mistaking the storm for yourself. You were never the storm. You were always the sky, and the sky never breaks. Thank you for watching. This is Wisdom of Sparks, where ancient light meets modern life.